The screen fades to white. Quaid stands on Mars. The colony is saved. And yet, something feels deeply off. For over 30 years, audiences have walked away asking the same question. Did any of it actually happen? What looks like a sci-fi action blockbuster is hiding something far more unsettling beneath the surface. Behind every chase and explosion lies a story filled with strange decisions, abandoned versions, and quiet details that change how you see the entire film. These are 15 of the most fascinating facts hidden inside Total Recall, and the first one begins exactly where the movie ends. Number 1. The ending may not be real. Director Paul Verhoeven has repeatedly hinted that Quaid's entire adventure could be nothing more than a manufactured memory. The biggest clue comes from the final scene itself. Instead of fading to black like most films, it fades to white, suggesting something very different. Some believe this represents Quaid's mind being wiped after a failed recall procedure, meaning everything we watched was part of the simulation. Number 2. The story was bought for just $1,000. Long before it became a blockbuster, the film started as a short story by Philip K. Dick titled We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. Producer Arnold Schwarzenegger purchased the rights in 1974 for only $1,000. At the time, no one expected it to become one of the most expensive sci-fi films of its era. Number 3. Most of the movie was completely invented. The original story was short and psychological, with almost no action. The Mars setting, the rebellion, and even most of the characters were created later by the writers. What remained was just the core idea, a man buying fake memories that may not be fake at all. Number 4. A very different director almost made it. David Cronenberg spent nearly a year developing his own version of the film. His take focused heavily on paranoia, identity, and psychological horror. It would have been much darker and slower, closer to the tone of the original story. Number 5. The lead actor was almost someone else. At one point, Patrick Swayze was considered for the role of Quaid, with Bruce Beresford attached to direct. That version would have been smaller in scale and very different in tone. Number 6. Arnold Schwarzenegger made the film happen. After years of failed attempts, Arnold Schwarzenegger personally pushed the project forward. Using his influence after hits like The Terminator and Predator, he secured funding and helped turn it into a massive production. Number 7. The script was designed to confuse you. Writer Gary Goldman strengthened the film's central mystery, making sure the story works both as reality and as a dream. Every scene was carefully structured so that both interpretations remain possible. Number 8. The movie tells you the entire plot early on. During the recall sales pitch, Quaid is promised a Mars adventure with danger, a secret identity, and romance. That description perfectly matches everything that happens later, suggesting the entire story may simply be the product he purchased. Number 9. The production nearly collapsed multiple times. The film spent years in development hell, passing between studios and collapsing due to funding issues. Several versions nearly started filming but fell apart at the last moment. Number 10. The sets were built like a real world. Instead of separate locations, the production designed interconnected environments. Corridors, rooms, and tunnels were physically linked, allowing characters to move continuously and making the action feel more real. Number 11. Mexico City became Mars. Much of the film was shot at large studio facilities in Mexico City, where entire sections of the colony were constructed from scratch. The scale and detail made the world feel alive and believable. Number 12. Real desert landscapes were used for Mars. Exterior scenes were filmed in Nevada's desert formations, where the natural red rock formations closely resembled the surface of Mars. This added a level of realism that studio sets alone could not achieve. Number 13. The film was almost rated X. Early cuts were considered too intense, earning an X rating. The filmmakers were forced to trim and adjust scenes to secure an R rating, which was essential for a wide release. Number 14. The film won a rare Oscar. Instead of a standard award, it received a Special Achievement Academy Award for its groundbreaking visual effects, recognizing the innovative combination of practical and early digital techniques. Number 15. A small scene helped change CGI forever. The X-ray scanner sequence, which shows skeletons moving inside human bodies, lasted only seconds but required painstaking work. It became one of the earliest convincing uses of CGI in a live-action film, helping pave the way for future breakthroughs. More than 30 decades later, Total Recall still refuses to give a clear answer. Was Quaid a hero who saved Mars, or a man lost inside a manufactured dream? The film was carefully built so that both possibilities feel true, and that question, left deliberately unresolved, is the reason people are still talking about it today. Number 16. The X-ray scene was a technical breakthrough. The famous airport scanner sequence may only last a few seconds, but it pushed visual effects forward in a major way. Instead of relying on early motion capture, which failed during testing, the team used rotoscoping, tracing movement frame by frame to create the skeletal animation. The result was one of the earliest convincing blends of CGI and live action, years before films like Jurassic Park made it mainstream. Number 17. The animatronic disguise was incredibly complex. The woman disguise Quaid uses on Mars wasn't just a costume, it was a massive animatronic build. The effect required hidden motors and mechanical joints to allow the face to split open convincingly on camera. It took months of design and engineering for a scene that lasts only moments, but it became one of the film's most iconic visuals. Number 18. The villain's audition was intense. When casting the role of Richter, director Paul Verhoeven pushed Michael Ironside to his limits during auditions. He demanded raw emotional intensity, pushing the actor to the point of exhaustion. That intensity carried into the final performance, giving the character a genuinely unhinged and obsessive edge. Number 19. Many effects were hidden in plain sight. Some of the most difficult visual effects in the film are ones audiences barely notice. In scenes like the Mars hotel lobby, the outside landscape doesn't exist. It's a combination of blue screen, miniatures, and matte paintings. Even the curvature of the windows had to be perfectly matched in the compositing process to maintain the illusion. Number 20. The music was designed to keep you uneasy. Composer Jerry Goldsmith didn't just score the film, he structured the soundtrack to mirror its central mystery. The soundtrack constantly shifts in rhythm and tone, never fully settling, much like Quaid's reality. It reinforces the idea that nothing in the story can be fully trusted.